Welcome to the Daily Globe. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. In the heartland of America, Walmart, a retail giant and community lifeline, is closing stores across 7 states. For decades, these supercenters have been more than just places to shop. They've been gathering spots, job providers, and the economic backbone of countless small towns. Now, as the doors close and the parking lots empty, the silence is deafening, a stark reminder of how quickly fortunes can change. The blue and yellow signs, once symbols of affordability and hope, now stand as haunting markers of economic distress. Where families once flocked for weekly groceries and back-to-school sales, only faded paint and locked doors remain. The loss ripples through communities, leaving behind uncertainty and a sense of abandonment. This isn't just about one company, it's a dramatic sign of a nation caught in a global trade war. The battle over tariffs and trade policies has sent shockwaves through the economy, disrupting supply chains and forcing businesses to make impossible choices. The effects are felt not just in boardrooms, but in every household that depends on affordable goods. Decisions in Washington have triggered a crisis on Main Street, leaving shuttered storefronts and anxious families. Small businesses, already struggling to compete, now face even greater challenges as foot traffic dwindles and uncertainty grows. The sense of community is eroding, replaced by worry and frustration. For decades, Walmart thrived on global supply chains and low prices. Now, steep tariffs threaten that model, driving up costs on everything from electronics to everyday essentials. The intricate web that once connected American consumers to the world is fraying, and the consequences are being felt in every aisle. Companies face a brutal choice: absorb massive costs and risk bankruptcy, or pass them to consumers and risk losing loyalty. For families already stretched thin, every price hike is a new hardship. For business owners, every tough decision could mean the difference between survival and closure. The closures are just the first tremors of a much larger economic earthquake, testing America's resilience. As the shockwaves spread, the true impact is only beginning to be understood. Communities must now find new ways to adapt, to support one another, and to rebuild what's been lost. The world is watching, asking, what happens next? As America stands at a crossroads, the choices made today will shape the future for generations to come. To understand today's crisis, we look to the roots: Trump's America First policy, now in overdrive. The doctrine claims unfair trade deals hollowed out U.S. manufacturing and jobs, demanding aggressive tariffs as a fix. Tariffs, meant to make foreign goods pricier and boost domestic buying, have instead squeezed retailers like Walmart. The reality: importers pay the tariffs, not foreign governments, and those costs ripple down to consumers. As the crisis shows, retail's thin margins can't absorb these shocks, forcing tough decisions across the industry. In April 2025, the Trump administration imposed a staggering 145% tariff on nearly all Chinese imports, plus a 10% tariff on most others. Retail CEOs, including Walmart's, warned the president these tariffs would break supply chains and empty shelves. The administration stood firm, calling tariffs a negotiating tactic, but uncertainty paralyzed the retail sector. A temporary 90-day tariff reduction with China offered brief relief, but the damage was done. Retailers had already factored in higher costs, and the threat of tariffs returning kept the industry on edge. For Walmart, long-term planning became impossible in this volatile environment. The stage was set for drastic action. Walmart announced permanent closures in 7 states: Ohio, Arkansas, Georgia, Florida, Washington, Illinois, and Texas. This wasn't routine downsizing, it was a direct response to tariffs making their business model unsustainable. Walmart leaders admitted they couldn't keep prices low or absorb the costs without severe price hikes. President Trump publicly urged Walmart to eat the tariffs, ignoring the razor-thin margins of retail. Forced between impossible choices, Walmart closed stores, warning of price hikes on everything from electronics to groceries. The closures became a stark symbol of the real-world consequences of tariff turmoil. Behind the headlines, a quieter crisis unfolds. Thousands of Walmart workers have lost their jobs, lives upended in an instant, dreams put on hold, and families left wondering what comes next. For many, Walmart wasn't just a job. It was a lifeline, a source of stability in uncertain times. In countless small towns across America, Walmart was the largest employer, the economic anchor that kept local communities afloat. Its closure ripples through every street and household, leaving a void that's hard to fill. For low-income families, the impact is especially harsh. With Walmart gone, they're forced to travel farther, sometimes miles, to find basic groceries and household goods. The nearest alternative might be a costly convenience store or a distant supermarket, making every trip a strain on already tight budgets. Food deserts are growing, and the simple act of putting dinner on the table becomes a daily challenge. Financial pressures are mounting for the most vulnerable. Families are forced to make impossible choices between paying bills, buying food, or keeping the lights on. The safety net is fraying, and many are left to fend for themselves. Even in towns where Walmart stores remain open, the story isn't much brighter. Price hikes are inevitable as tariffs and supply chain disruptions drive up costs on everything from phones to groceries. Shoppers are shocked to see everyday essentials suddenly out of reach. Inflation acts as a regressive tax, hitting lower and middle-income families hardest. Every dollar buys less, and families are forced to cut back, skipping items at checkout, stretching meals, and worrying about what tomorrow will bring. The loss of Walmart erodes more than just paychecks. It weakens community ties and undermines the sense of stability that once held these towns together. Local events shrink, and the heart of the community fades. Empty storefronts and abandoned parking lots stand as stark reminders of decline, a visual echo of lost opportunity and fading hope. The emotional toll is profound. Job loss brings anxiety, uncertainty, and a sense of isolation. Support groups form, but the wounds run deep, and the path forward is unclear for many. This trade war's cost isn't just measured in dollars and cents, it's measured in lost stability, broken routines, and the fading hope of millions of Americans who once relied on Walmart as a cornerstone of their lives. The fallout is deeply personal, touching every family, every home, and every dream in its path. Walmart's closures ripple through communities, slashing local jobs and tax revenue. Small businesses near shuttered stores lose foot traffic, leading to more layoffs and closures. Nationally, Walmart's retreat means fewer orders for suppliers and logistics companies, deepening the economic hit. The uncertainty has led Walmart and others to withhold profit forecasts, signaling instability to markets. Globally, the tariff war triggers retaliation, disrupts supply chains, and risks a worldwide slowdown. America's aggressive stance may push allies to seek new trade partners, isolating U.S. interests. Walmart's struggles are a warning. Targeted trade policies can spark widespread economic crisis. Economists and retail leaders agree. Tariffs aren't paid by foreign governments, they're paid by U.S. businesses and, ultimately, consumers. Target's CEO warned early on that tariffs would mean higher prices within days. Retail's thin margins make absorbing these costs impossible, forcing price hikes or closures. Walmart's efficiency couldn't shield it. Smaller retailers face even greater risk of bankruptcy. Industry analysts say the crisis was predictable. Supply chains can't be rebuilt overnight. The administration's aggressive timeline left companies with no good options. The consensus, this outcome was avoidable, and the warnings were clear. Despite mounting fallout, the White House remains defiant, defending tariffs as essential to the America First agenda. Store closures and job losses are framed as necessary sacrifices for long-term gains. President Trump insists companies should absorb costs, casting them as the problem, not the policy. The administration claims tariffs will force production back to the U.S., but so far, job losses outpace gains. A special working group is being considered to address supply chain chaos. But the core strategy stands. The president bets that economic pain will force other nations to concede before U.S. voters lose patience. For families facing layoffs and higher prices, this vision offers little comfort. America stands at a crossroads, facing a moment of uncertainty and possibility. The choices made today will echo for years to come, shaping the lives of millions and the direction of the nation itself. As we look around, it's clear that the landscape is changing and the path forward is anything but certain. Walmart's retreat is a defining moment for the economy and consumers. The closure of such a retail giant signals more than just empty storefronts. It's a sign of shifting tides in how Americans shop, work, and live. For many communities, Walmart was more than a store. It was a hub of activity and a source of jobs. The outcome of trade negotiations will determine if relief comes soon or if hardship deepens. These talks are not just about numbers on a balance sheet. They affect the price of everyday goods, the stability of jobs, and the strength of local businesses. Every handshake and signature has the power to change the course of the economy. More closures and bankruptcies could follow, shrinking consumer choice and raising prices. As more stores disappear from main streets, communities risk losing their unique character and vibrancy. The ripple effects can be felt in lost jobs, reduced tax revenue, and fewer options for families trying to make ends meet. For families, the top concern is the rising cost of living and eroding financial security. Every trip to the grocery store, every bill that arrives in the mail, is a reminder of how fragile stability can be. Parents worry about providing for their children, and seniors wonder if their savings will last. In these uncertain times, it's more important than ever to stay informed, make your voice heard with elected officials, and support local businesses where possible. Community engagement and civic participation can help shape policies that protect jobs and keep neighborhoods thriving. The choices we make, as voters, consumers, and community members, will shape what happens next. Every vote cast, every dollar spent, and every conversation held in our communities contributes to the future we build together. Walmart's story is a powerful reminder. No company, no matter how large, is immune to change. Its rise and challenges reflect the broader shifts in our society and economy, and remind us that adaptation is essential for survival. Government decisions have real, lasting impacts on everyday lives. Policies set in motion in Washington or state capitals ripple outward, affecting everything from job opportunities to the price of groceries and the health of local businesses. The future of the American marketplace depends on what we do now. By staying engaged, supporting one another, and making thoughtful choices, we can help shape a future that offers opportunity, resilience, and hope for all.